Hi, this is Nancy with MumMum's Bows. I'm going to show you how to fluff and shape your bow. Let's get started. As you can tell, this bow is pretty wonky. The first thing that you do is you want to put your bow on the project that you want to have it displayed on. In this instance, it's a wreath. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is start with the back loops of the bow. And I'm going to put my fingers, or you can put your hand inside of the bow, and you just spread out your fingers like this, and that gets the loop to liven up a bit. And also, you can stable your bow in the center and shift your loop to be positioned exactly where you want it to be if that loop happened to be out of balance, if it happened to shift and not be where you want it to be sitting. And then you just work your way up to the center of the bow with each layer. I'm going to come back to these little short tails in just a minute. And this one is the center loop. I'm going to go put my finger at the base of him so I can work on this side. Now I'm going to fluffen up each of these loops. Now, with the design of this particular bow, I want this to be opposite of that, and this one to be opposite of this one. So I'm going to position them where they are going diagonally from each other. And these two I want to be directly across from each other, and the reason for that is they're going to be centered between the top and the bottom loops. And this sits right on top of him, and this one in the center. Now you can have him standing straight up, or you can flatten him out just a little bit. That's a preference thing. Now, if you happen to have short tails that go above, all you do is put your fingers together and go straight up, and that will straighten out your tails. And some people have a preference where they would like for these tails to go towards the back. If that's the case, bring your middle finger forward some and just go up. And that gives a backwards curl. Let's do that again. You put your index finger, your middle finger forward and just go back like that, and it gives a backwards curl. If you're wanting it to curl forward, then you would bring your middle finger up, and that will bring that little tail to have more of a forward curl. But in this instance, I want my tails to be straight, so I'm going to put my fingers side by side together and just go straight up. Just like this. And as you see, this tail continues to want to curve. So what I'm going to do is go at the base, and I'm going to just pinch it and twist just a little bit to see if I can get him. He's still wanting to curve a little bit. Now, that's just fine. It's just the nature of this particular tail, and that's okay. It just gives the bow some personality. Now let's come down and work on these tails. So he's going to come down opposite of him, and he's going to be opposite of this one. And I'm just going to bring them down straight. Now let's look at our longer tails. As you can see, they're all misshapen. Again, I'm going to just bring them out straight for starters. But as you can see, there are 6, 3 on either side, and they're different lengths. So first of all, I'm going to kind of line them up, shift them and line them up where they're kind of on top of each other. And then I'm going to hold it firmly at the base and then bring my fingers lined up together and come straight out. And that will give them more of a straight tail. If I wanted them to go towards the back, I would pull this finger, the middle finger back, and then they would have more of a curl towards the back. So let's line these up. And again, I'm going to hold it in the middle and come straight. And I think let's try just curling them up. If I'm going to curl them up, I'm going to bring this finger forward. And that'll give them all a sweep upward. So that's how you would do your tails. Bring your middle finger forward and sweep up, or your middle finger back and come down. That'll give it an under curl. Or keep your fingers together and pull straight towards you, and that'll give it a straight tail. Sometimes after working with your tails, you'll have to come back and adjust what was just right in front of it, and that's okay. That's just the nature of getting everything straight in the way you want it. One more thing that I want to show you. Some bows are in the shape of a bow like this one. And when you are reshaping and fluffing up your bow, one thing that you want to keep in mind in shaping this type of bow is that each side looks identical to the other. So as you're working on your back layer, then the next layer, then the next layer, and the next, you want to make sure that each layer is a mirror image of the layer opposite. Whereas the bow before it was more round. We didn't have to worry necessarily that they were mirror opposites. And this particular bow has curly tails. Now, to keep your curly tail, let's say that this one, while it was in storage, or let's say it just got a little bit out of shape. If you want to get it back into a curly tail, it's fairly simple. All you do is you can find something that is a cylinder and wrap it around. That would be really simple and easy. Or you can just simply use your fingers and just curl it just so. And that was fairly simple. And again, if you get a bow and it has curly tails and you decide I'd like to have it straightened out, just do your fingers like we did on the other bow and straighten out the tail. Fairly simple. Again, I'm Nancy with MumMum's Bows. Thank you.